Welcome to Sunday Leftovers. Pastor Drew here. So glad that you could join us. You'll notice that I'm by myself today. Pastor Eric and Sarah have had their baby girl. We're so excited. We are celebrating with them. We're praying with them for them. Please join us in praying with them and for them. So today we're going to try a little bit of an experiment. Try something new for Sunday Leftovers, so we haven't done it in a while. And that's to kind of just do a little bit of a recap of the sermon and then give you something to chew on throughout the rest of the week. So go ahead and put in the comment box or email us back how you feel about this new format, and if you liked it or if you didn't like it. We're always trying to learn how to best partner with you in your journey of following Jesus. As that's what we're here to do at New Life, is to partner with Jesus, to learn from him, and to help work on the transformation in our own hearts and lives, as well as the transformation in our community and world. And that's what we've been talking about in this sermon series recently. And so yesterday, on Sunday of this week, we talked about what it means to help partner with God to transform our community. We talked about the idea that we can always sit around and wait for something to be better. We have the mentality of the grass is always greener on the other side. We can think that maybe if we don't feel God right now, maybe if we don't feel God here or hear God's voice where we are, then maybe we need to be going somewhere else or doing something else or buying something else to have the fulfilled life that we have. It's a very common feeling in our world. But as believers of Jesus, we know that God has planted us here and God has a mission for us now. Yeah, God can call us to other places, but while we are here, we have a mission to join Jesus in. And so that's what we were talking about with the idea of being planted where we are, growing where we're planted. And one of our members of New Life, Pam Cakes, reminded me that we get to sow where we grow, to plant here even more of what God has given us. And so it's that idea of growing where we're planted. God has a mission for us here. He has a plan for us here, and we get to join him now. And so then we talked about, well, what are some ways that we can join him? We looked at the beautiful passage in Romans chapter 12 that Paul just gives all these practical ideas. And so if you haven't had a chance, or if you want the refresher, go back and read Romans chapter 12, verses 9 through 21. And don't read it as a list of things that you have to do, but rather it's a list of things that we get to do out of our life of worship. They're just practical ideas. They're not have-tos. They're get-tos, because of the mercy that God has already shown us, because of the grace that God has already shown us. We get to live out these ways. Transforming our community doesn't have to be a huge project or a revitalization campaign or anything that would require tons of resources and people and time. Those things are good, but transforming our community can also be small and simple. And so I ended the sermon yesterday by just inviting everyone to consider one small, simple act of service or love to bless their community. So pick one small, simple act that you might do to bless your workplace or your neighborhood. Pick one small, simple, kind word that you could share with someone, or a conversation with a neighbor that's just one step along the way to a friendship. Pick one small, simple act of service or love to bless your school or to bless someone who's outside of your close group of friends. And then just see what God does with that. That's just one way that we get to partner with Jesus in transforming our community, by keeping our eyes open and our ears attentive to opportunities to do small, simple acts of service to bless those around us. Because that's one way that we get to partner with God in transforming our community. So that's our recap of the sermon, and I want you to just consider, how might God be speaking to you today to do that? What is standing out to you? What is revealing itself or jumping off the page if you're reading that scripture? What's the thing that's standing out? Because that might be something that God is asking you to mull over, to consider more, to pray with him about. And then out of that God is showing you something, or maybe something I said sparked something for you, ask God, how am I supposed to join you in that, God? What are you inviting me to do in response to this? How are you challenging me to take a step of faith? Those are the two questions. What is God saying to you? And how is he inviting you to follow him? So let us know what stood out to you. Email back if this is on the week ahead email that you get, or if you're just on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and put a comment and just let us know what stood out to you and what do you think God might be inviting you to do about it. And you can always email me back directly and just let me know your thoughts on this, but also just your thoughts on what God might be saying to you as we're all in this journey together. And that's one of the beautiful things we get to do here in the community of New Life. So God's blessings to you, and we will talk soon.